All right, let's dive in. For this journey, we're exploring a source that invites us on what it calls a holographic pilgrimage. It's a trip from the world of numbers to a concept called the boundless smile. We're about to step into a world where math and spirituality aren't just related, they're pretty much the same thing. So let's get started. Our journey kicks off with this, well, it's a riddle, an equation that seems to completely break logic. 1 times 1 equals half of 1, which equals half of 5, which equals 25, and somehow that all lands on 7. So, what on earth could this possibly mean? Well, our source tells us this isn't a math problem you'd get in school. Think of it more like a sacred code, a key that's designed to unlock the language of the universe itself. So, to even begin to understand a riddle like that, we've got to learn a whole new language. This first part, 1 times 1, is going to introduce us to a reality where numbers aren't just about counting things. They're secret symbols, and each one has a really deep spiritual meaning. Okay, our first big idea is muqatta'at. These are those mysterious, disconnected letters you find at the beginning of some chapters of the Quran. In this worldview, numbers are treated just like those letters. They're not cold, hard data points, they're part of a living alphabet that sings a kind of divine praise. Each number is like a note in a sacred song. And here's the second crucial piece of the puzzle, Saba Mathani. This refers to the 7 verses of Al-Fatiha, the opening chapter of the Quran that are repeated so often. This is what really anchors the number 7 in this entire system. It's not just a digit, it's a spiritual guide, a constant prayer that sets the foundation for everything else we're about to get into. So, with that foundation set, we can now start looking at these numbers as keys. We're about to meet 4 specific numbers that, according to the source material, are the master keys we need to unlock this whole holographic code of the universe. Our first key, and really the most important one, is the number 7. As we just saw, it's directly tied to the Saba Mathani. You can think of it like a spiritual compass. It's the main guide that's always pointing us toward divine mercy and understanding. Next up, we've got the number 6. Now, in mathematics, 6 is what's called the first perfect number, because the numbers that divide into it, 1, 2, and 3, add up to 6 itself. So in this spiritual system, it represents structure, balance, harmony. The source even links it to the phrase Wal Quran, by the Quran, making it the very bedrock that spiritual harmony is built on. Now for a key that's a bit more complex, 2, 3, 7. This is presented as the unique code for humanity, for us. The word for human, insan, apparently shows up 237 times in the Quran. The number also pops up in other important places, which marks it as the special signature of our human experience inside this cosmic code. And our final key is 729. This number, which is 3 to the power of 6, is described as the divine seal. It's connected to the Basmala, that invocation that starts most Quranic chapters, and it represents divine power. So let's do a quick recap of our keys. 7 is the guide, 6 is the foundation, 237 is the human, and 729 is the divine. Got it? Good. Now that we have our keys, we can finally start to unlock the holographic code. This is where it all comes together. We're going to see how these numbers, which seem totally separate, actually begin to interact, to, you could say, dance with each other in some really beautiful and pretty surprising ways. This chart here shows what our source calls a Sufi dance of numbers. Let's just walk through this little pilgrimage. It starts with the version of our guide, 7, which then transforms into 9. This 9 then expands out into the divine seal, 729. But the journey goes inward from there, revealing its hidden structure, 3 to the power of 6. That leads us to 36, which is just 6 times 6, a perfect expression of our number of harmony. And from that state of harmony, the pilgrimage comes full circle, returning right back to its spiritual origin, the guide, number 7. But here's the thing, this dance isn't just some clever number game. The patterns we're seeing aren't just isolated tricks, they're actually reflections of a much deeper connection, one that's about to show itself on a truly cosmic scale. And here it is. Take the number 15,873, multiply it by our key number, 7, then multiply it by 7 again. The result? 777,777. This is presented as this absolutely stunning mathematical reflection of the Saba Masani, those 7 oft-repeated verses, now showing up as a perfect repeating pattern in pure math. It's pretty incredible. But there's another hidden layer to this. Look at that key number again from the equation, 15,873. Now look over to the left. A code derived from our number of harmony, 6, is 126.
If you square that number, you get 15,876. I mean, look how close those are. The source points to this as proof of a deep, resonant harmony between them, between the spiritual code of 7 and the foundational code of 6.
So what's the actual framework holding all of this together? Well, it's summarized here as the modular 9 harmony theory. Let's just break it down. The core belief, the axiom, is that the universe is made of 9 basic elements. The method, or postulate, is that you can find any number's true essence by finding its remainder when you divide by 9. And the ultimate goal, the prediction, is that getting a remainder of 7 is what leads to spiritual peace. This is basically the theoretical engine that makes this whole numerical universe run. All of this theory, all of these numbers, it's all been building up to one final destination, the boundless smile. This is where we finally answer that big "so what" question. What is the ultimate point of this entire intricate system? So why does any of this matter? Well, because the goal isn't just to do math. In this worldview, numbers become a language for divine remembrance, or dhikr. Mathematics itself can actually be a form of prayer. The central idea here is that the entire universe is a holographic remembrance, constantly singing praise. And the final destination of this journey isn't an answer to a problem, but a state of being, unity with the divine. And so we end with this final, really profound thought from our source, which kind of turns the focus away from the cosmos and right back to you. You are a holographic remembrance, the eternal mercy of Al-Fatiha. The suggestion here is that this entire cosmic code, this divine song, isn't just something out there for us to observe. It's something that is alive inside each and every one of us, a thought to carry with you. Thanks for joining me on this one.